Welcome to Kermode Uncut. Look, it's one of my favourite times of year. It's the time that we all get to enjoy the Christmas edition of the Radio Times. I said this last year. I know this is an age thing. I know this is because I'm 52, but the Christmas Radio Times always delights me. One of the reasons is this. At Christmas, it's great to be able to sit down, sit on your sofa and watch films, most of which you've seen before, because it's kind of like, you know, meeting old relatives and old friends. It's reacquainting yourself with old films, and the Radio Times is the guide through the hundreds of films that are on across all the TV channels. Now, you'll be pleased to know that all the old favourites are pretty much there. So, for example, White Christmas is on Channel 4 on the 21st. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's always worth watching this time of year. Mary Poppins shows up on BBC One. I mean, you have to have a Christmas screening of Mary Poppins. I know you've all got it on DVD anyway, and you've probably seen it 100 times. Doesn't matter. It's always worth seeing again. Mary Poppins is on BBC One on Sunday the 27th. So, you know, you've gone through Christmas, cheer yourself up with Mary Poppins. However, as Christmas approaches, if you find yourself on Christmas Eve doing that last-minute wrapping, you know, the afternoon of Christmas Eve, you should have done it ages ago. What better way to do it than in front of a screening of It's a Wonderful Life, which is on Channel 4 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve? I have to say, watching It's a Wonderful Life whilst wrapping does lead to very, very rubbish and very soggy wrapping, but it's definitely the only way to do it. But Christmas isn't just about schmaltz and sentimentality and good cheer. Christmas is all about glitter and baubles. And what better way to represent that than on BBC Two on the 28th of December, there's a screening of Behind the Candelabra. I mean, Liberace and glitter go absolutely hand in hand. I love Behind the Candelabra. It's a fantastic film. If you want to see Michael Douglas and Matt Damon at the absolute top of their game and with some really remarkable facial enhancements, then Behind the Candelabra is the film for you. It's one of those movies that when you watch it, you think, I'm being shown something that was kind of hidden, but frankly wasn't that hidden. But isn't it great to spend Christmas with this much glitter all around? For some reason, all the channels this year seem to have gone on a Steven Spielberg binge. So wherever you look, there's a Steven Spielberg movie. As you know, Bridge of Spies is out in cinemas at the moment, which I like very much. I keep comparing it to sitting in a very, very comfy armchair. But if you need more Spielberg, Raiders of the Lost Ark is screening, Catch Me If You Can is screening. The Terminal, which often gets overlooked, I think it's a really funny, interesting, sort of witty, dry film, that's getting a screening. Duel shows up on the Horror Channel, and there's a screening of War of the Worlds. Now, War of the Worlds, again, is a very divisive movie. When it came out, a lot of people really didn't like it. They particularly didn't like the end of it. I think War of the Worlds is an interesting film. It's one of Spielberg's darkest works, and certainly the opening section of it is really, really sort of Spielberg at the top of his game, mixing science fiction with a strangely understated but very, very clear political sensibility. Now, for something completely different, there's loads of animation on TV over Christmas. As you know, I think it's been a fantastic year for animation in cinemas. We've had Tale of the Princess Kaguya, Song of the Sea, Inside Out, my favourite film of the year. Loads of animation on television this Christmas, including there's a screening of Brave, Pixar's film. I wasn't crazy about that when it first came out, and I want to revisit it because I know other people who really, really like it. Screening of The Croods. Also, there is a screening, as you can see from the front cover of the Radio Times, there's a new Shaun the Sheep short, which is Shaun the Sheep and the Farmer's Llamas. But over on BBC Three, they're showing the full-length feature of Wallace and Gromit in The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which, if you remember, was the film that won the Kermode Award for Best Cinematography. That was such a fantastic-looking film, and every time I see it, there's something in there that I hadn't noticed before. Just having a look through the small print at some of the other things that might have got lost, that might get overlooked in the Christmas season. There's a screening of Made in Dagenham, which I'm a huge fan of, obviously. Screening of Sunshine on Leith. I'm an absolute sucker for that film. I really enjoyed it. I love the Proclaimers. But hidden away in the schedules, Telstar, the Joe Meek story, directed by Nick Moran. Now, you probably didn't see this when it came out in cinemas because, frankly, very few people did, which is a shame because it's a really interesting and really strange film with a fantastic central performance by Con O'Neill as the tormented Joe Meek. If you can remember, make a note to check it out. Sunday the 27th on BBC Two, Telstar, the Joe Meek story. That is the really strange Christmas bauble hiding away in the tree of TV treats. It's Christmas, so I'd like to leave you with a turkey. Oh look, Boxing Day, 3:15 on Channel 5. They're screening Diana. Can you really die of a broken heart?